Okay, so this is like the third time that I tried to record this. If you want to take a deep breath with me, let's take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Hold it for a moment and then let it go. If you didn't take a breath, maybe you shouldn't be here. We have the Four of Cups coming out. That was the first card that came out when I tried to record this previous times. And now we have the Ace of Wands and the Moon card coming out here. So I do see excitement coming in for you pretty soon, if it isn't in your life already, which, if you're aligned with me, if this is for you, you're not really feeling super excited. You know, you're not really in the most motivated energy. But with the Ace of Wands and the Moon, I definitely feel like within the next couple of days, you will definitely be feeling a surge of energy. Now, ideally, it'll be because of something positive, but, like, it's probably going to vary. Some of you, it's going to be something that pisses you off and sends you into, like, you know, Hulk mode. Others of you, it's going to be, like, an opportunity or something that, like, really gets you excited, really gets you in a fresh perspective, you know? But, like, if this is somebody else, if that bored energy is somebody else who's, like, bored with their own life and, like, coming into your life to disturb you, there's different ways to deal with this sort of energy, but, like, ultimately you have to gauge what you're willing to take, what you're willing to put up with, and, like, move accordingly. What's to be said about this Moon card along with the Ace of Wands? What's to be said from the Spirit? You have the Ace of Pentacles, which is the Ace of Discs. I'm going to show you this. I think this deck is, like, so outrageous. Like, I don't use it because of the way that the minor suit is, but we have two aces coming out already also, by the way. And we have a lot of new beginnings, a lot of new opportunities, new starts happening. But with the Moon card here, I do feel like there's a really big importance to make sure that you are tending to your emotional needs. Excuse me. My throat has not been the best. The Knight of Wands, and then the Justice card. I'm hearing something about, like, riding on the wings of justice or something like that. And there's also something about being, how do I say this? Being on the right side of history, if you will. What's to be said? The King of Swords, King of Blades. You definitely want to make sure that you are dotting your I, or what is it? Dotting your I's, crossing your T's. Because there's going to be a lot of new energy coming in for you, and excuse me. One thing that people like to say is that first impressions are really important, and without me getting into a tizzy about how I think that's shite and, like, first impressions shouldn't really hold as much weight as they do, to some degree, first impressions do matter. Emphasis on to some degree. Now, to what degree, I don't know, but we have transportation. And really what I'm getting is the imagery of someone being, like, transported, basically, from one reality to another. And whatever that looks like for you is what that looks like for you. But, like, with all these new beginnings, you're getting a chance to, like, do things differently and, like, see the world through different lens. But it's really necessary that you maintain to keep a good head on your shoulders, and you stay grounded in what you know. Be open to like having your perspective shifted and your mind opened, but generally make sure that you are grounded and stable in what you are. You know, because you are highly intuitive. You know quite a lot as it is, and you're going to be learning a lot more with these new beginnings. This is a very specific message, by the way. This is not for everyone, but like, you're going to be learning a lot more. And it's really necessary that you maintain a good head on your shoulders, because you're going to get conflicting knowledge, you know? And it's really necessary that you take heed that not everything given is something to take into consideration. Does that make sense? Like, not everything that you hear, not everything that comes into your mind is something to be trusted. I got into an argument with someone the other day, and you could barely call it an argument because I wasn't really having the back and forth thing. I was just like, okay. And he was like yelling things at me basically. But he was basically for the idea that like you have to believe everything that you think. And I don't know if his frontal cortex just like disconnected, or if like, I don't know what happened, what was going on in his head, but he was very adamant for the idea of believe everything that you think, you know, because I guess this individual hears voices and they tell him things and give him information, and it's like, as a person who doesn't hear voices, like not as intensely as some people do at least, I know that it's important to like take things with a grain of salt and know how to filter. And for the most part with the chariot here, as I like split the deck just now, a lot of you are pretty good at that. A lot of you are pretty good at deciphering and decoding and what's the other word? Discerning. Excuse me. That's gross. It feels really gross. But yeah, I do see you moving forward after a period of feeling bored, feeling stuck, feeling stagnant. And I want you to take stock of like everything that you've learned while in this period, because I feel like if you were to look back, you could find a few things to be grateful for, a few things to be appreciative of learning. I can't really see within the cards what it is that you've been learning, but you definitely have been learning a lot of opportunities to learn about yourself, your emotions. Oh wow. Okay, so I pulled for this King of Swords energy, and we have wars and battles. And we're reading into your energy based off of this King of Swords energy. This is somebody who is really hard to work with, someone who is really combative and like argumentative. And I feel like, excuse me, I'm burped. I feel like whoever this is for, whoever I'm talking to, you have been doing a relatively good job of like standing your ground and like generally defending yourself. But like with the Chariot card here and the transportation energy, like I definitely feel like you are moving on to better things. Like, as cheesy as that sounds, like you're moving on to bigger and better, and it requires you leaving behind some of these people, some of these situations, which I'm just going to say some of you are not going to be willing to do. Some of you are going to be like, no. I have grown accustomed to this life, even though I don't really love where I'm at. Like, I've grown accustomed to it, and I'm going to stay. I'm going to do what I do, you know, and The Atlantis card keeps coming out in readings. It came out like several times before. And whenever I pull the Atlantis card, I get this energy of like someone who is, for the lack of a better word, ego driven. Someone who only operates on their superficial level, you know? Someone who... Now, this could be you, if we want to be honest with ourselves, or this could be somebody else. But generally, this is someone who didn't realize their... I'm hearing like the Achilles heel, like something about the Achilles heel. It's like you didn't know that this was a weakness for you, and because you were so proud of yourself and your capabilities, you missed being able to protect that flaw, and everything came crashing down. Similar to the Tower card, I actually did pull this with the Tower a few days ago. What more could be said about this Wars and Battles? What do we need to know about this King of Swords energy? This could be a boss. For some of you, it's a boss. Could be like soon to be X. Hopefully, soon to be X. Through the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Karma is definitely hitting them very heavily, and we don't need to focus on that. But like, the way that you have been leveling up, the way that you have been like maneuvering, it is definitely hitting this person. Once again, it could be your job, it could be a boss, or like a really bad friend. Excuse me, which I guess we should use the word friend lightly, because if they're not good to you, then how are they a friend? But I digress. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Hierophant coming out for clarification for the King of Swords. This is somebody, if this is not you, this is somebody who has taught you quite a lot in different ways. Like for some of you, it's that like this person taught you like what kind of person you don't want to be. They taught you like what kind of person to watch out for, what kind of person to stay away from, you know? Or they've taught you a lot about yourself just inadvertently, just by proxy of being a mirror, you know? And we don't get into the twin flame thing around here. Occasionally I mention it, but... Oh, and then as I say that, we have the Ace of Swords, Ace of Blades. Yeah. There's a certain element of you needing to, like, cut loose. Remove yourself from this individual, from this place. That is very combative, very argumentative, very, it gets you in your head, you know? Also, I didn't mention it at all, but we do have the Unrequited Love card at the top of the deck, as I, like, put it down. And I feel like maybe that's partially why you want to stay here, because there are some energies, or is an energy, that you are really smitten with, and you're wanting to make things work, but like, I feel like generally you've outgrown this environment. You've outgrown where you are energetically, and it's time for you to move on. Like, you can disagree with that, you can like feel however you feel about that, and that's fine. That's the great thing about, you know, tarot and like getting readings. It's like, it's meant to be a guidance, but at the end of the day, you have to make the choice. And if you don't feel like you're ready, then whatever. But like, from the way that I'm looking at this, also we have 3 aces, which is really cool. The Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. So the only ace that didn't come up is the Ace of Cups, but there's still time, I guess. Anyways, you know, there's a lot of new beginnings for you, a lot of new starts, and it's really necessary that you keep a good head on your shoulders and you maintain a sense of who you are, which when I say that, I feel like it sounds so cheesy. It's like, obviously, yeah, duh. But, like, I think it can be so easy when we find something that is ideal for us, whether it's a person, whether it's a job, whether it's a friend group. We have this thing where it gets so easy to, like, lose ourselves in the midst of this other person, this individual. You know, like, who do I need to be to please this person, to continue pleasing this person, continue pleasing this job? And while that is a good skill to have and hold, at some point you have to be able to release yourself from the shackles of being whoever this person wants you to be, because that's not you. Unless, like, naturally, like, you mold yourself into, like, being your true authentic self because of somebody else. Unless that's the case, then, like, you don't need to be molding yourself to fit other people, you know? If anything, people should be molding and conforming to you so that you can have your desire, but, like, generally you want to maintain the power in your life. You want to be in control of who you are and, like, how you know what I mean? I am getting a clear message about, oh my god, I love when pop culture comes in. Sabrina Carpenter, one of my faves, recently released a single called Please, Please, Please. And basically throughout the song, she's just being like, hey, I like you. I like this dude. I think he's really cool. But, like, dear dude, please don't embarrass me. Please don't ruin my ego. Excuse me. And I'm, like, getting this sort of energy for whoever it is that you're, like, crushing on right now. It's that sort of energy, like, and once again, this isn't going to be for everybody, but, like, if there's somebody that you're crushing on that you're, like, unsure about, like, they definitely are the type of person that would, like, and maybe not purposely, but, like, they would definitely have you out here looking, like, a little foolish. And I just want you to know that. I just want you to recognize that. So you have to be extra careful. Like I said, crossing our T's and dotting our I's. What's to be said about this Hierophant energy? What are we learning? What are we... We pulled out the Seven of Pentacles, and I heard, like, the power of hard work, dedication, willpower, discipline, things that I don't necessarily excel in, but I'm going to pull from the Lessons card for this. Oh wow, that's definitely not the same energy. We have worry, growth, and self-esteem. We're not going to get too deep into all of these, but the worry card says, I am learning that worry does not change an outcome. And I like this card, but I also don't like this card in the sense that, like, worry does change an outcome. Like, if you're constantly worried about something, that definitely does do something undesirable for the situation. And don't come to me, for my girlies who like to spiral and, like, get really manic with their thoughts and, like, just think the most outlandish things. Don't come to me thinking, oh, does that mean that my negative thoughts will manifest? Because they won't if you say that they won't. Like, you have to, like, really be in charge of, like, what goes on. Like, it can manifest. The negative thoughts that you think can definitely manifest into the reality that you hold. But, like, if you consciously say, like, my negative thoughts don't manifest, my negative thoughts don't manifest, you're Gucci. And, like, that's all it is to it. But, like, generally, if we're going to be, like, diving into consciousness and, like, diving into self-awareness, you have to be cognizant of the thoughts that you think on a daily basis. Now, I'm not saying you have to monitor every thought, but, like, that is the goal, to be able to, like, monitor every thought and, like, you know, pinpoint things that are not desirable in your mind and then, like, be able to shift. And some people will tell you that like controlling your thoughts isn't really a good thing to do. And sure, maybe there's evidence to say that is a thing, but like generally you should be in charge of your thoughts, you know. Another thing that a lot of people say is that the only thing you can control is yourself, which is true to some extent, but like we also are aware, like realistically, that if you go and have a conversation with someone, realistically you are influencing someone. And by the same merit, the things that we think internally, the things that we feel internally can definitely have an impact on the world around us. I have it in a song. It's a really silly song. It's not silly, but it's kind of a silly. The better you get at self-regulation, the better you get at controlling what happens around you. Literally a lyric from a song that I wrote. I'm going to try to put that down below in the description or whatever. Whenever I get to posting this. I don't know when I'll post this. But yeah, no, like, the better you get at controlling what happens within, the better you get at controlling what happens externally. And that's not generally a thing that people like to... It's a very dangerous skill to hold, I'll say. In the wrong hands, it can definitely be a big problem. We have the Strength card and the Magician card. Pray for my throat, because my throat is just going through it right now. But we have the Strength card and the Magician card. And this could be for me, but I don't believe that it is just for me. I feel like a lot of you could really relate to this. I was going to make a jokey joke about my throat being sore because I'm not actively working on music. Like, I haven't been recording like I want to, etc., etc. And it's not really a joke, because I do believe that energetically everything is connected, and in that same right, I feel strongly that some of you, most of you, are in a situation where you're not really... And once again, I'm talking to myself too, so hey, future Tariq, what's up? You're not really growing within your creativity. You're not really expanding upon yourself within the realms of creativity. Like, if you're a writer, if you're a singer, if you're whatever you do, whether you yarn or whatever. Yarn, is that the verb? I'm not doing any cuts to this. But like, you know, when you crocheting, I guess, I don't know. Whatever it is that you do, however it is that you create, you haven't been actively like going after that. And that's not to say that I haven't been. Future Tariq, you already know, like, take it with a grain of salt, because we also are very hard on ourselves. It's not like I haven't been working on projects, it's not like I haven't been doing anything, but specifically knowing how much I love to like be in the studio and like to make music, like, I have not been doing that. And like, now it's like my throat is just like, you don't want to use me? You don't want to utilize me? Okay, well, fine. We'll make it even harder. And I've been like coughing and like throwing up stuff, just grossness, all day, and it's really gross. And I'm really excited to not feel this anymore, because, ugh. Anyways, that was the Three of Pentacles as I put that down. But yeah, I got really passionate right there. Did you notice? You know, make sure that you're tending to your creativity, like, in whatever way that makes sense for you, whether it's just playing guitar by yourself in your basement, whether it's, like, whatever it is for you, you know, lean into that, because it's definitely going to help you keep your sense of self as you move forward with these new opportunities. Okay. I hope this was helpful. Hope this was useful. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. If you thought this was useful, check out the links down below, and I hope that you have a nice rest of your day. Hope that you stay hydrated. Have a good one. Bye.